Well, good day to you. It is 12:12, and I hope wherever you are, you're having a great day. Now, I want to welcome you to Search for Signs. I know I can't see you out there, and I also want to introduce myself. My name is Gary Willing. Thank you so much for checking out this channel. Hopefully you find this information useful. But I will tell you this, if you're hearing this information for the first time, or even if you've heard it before, learn more about it, investigate it for yourself. I've included links in the description part of these videos that take you to websites that give you really good information if you know about this information, or background information if you don't know anything about this information. Same information, it just depends on where you're at, right? It's there for you if and whenever you want to look into it. Now, if you want to join the discussion and learn things about what we have to talk about that way, post your comment, post your question in the comment section, or you can even email me directly at searchforsigns@mail.com. And then lastly, before I get into the video, I want to thank Brett Allen, Ashawak Radati, Reprost Simple, Rick Todd, and Regina Foster. You guys all commented since the last time I put a video up. Thank you so much for doing that. Now, I didn't have any questions that came my way, so I can't really answer that, question in that regard. And the questions were really just pros or cons, so, there's really not much to go on. I want to read an article coming from Benjamin Creme's master entitled The End of Cleavage. Now, I want to say something real quick, actually three things about reading these articles to you. Okay, first and foremost, it is best for you to read these articles yourself. I've included a link in the description portion of these videos. It takes you to Share International. That's the cheapest way to read these articles for yourself, because I do think, and this is coming from somebody who didn't read these articles for years, really, or if I read them, not very closely. Once I started doing these videos and I started reading these articles to everybody, I started to absorb a lot of what he was saying, and I'm like, this is the best way to know more about Maitreya, know more about the masters, how they're going to think, how they're going to teach humanity in the future and so forth, is to read an article coming from one of these masters. Because these masters aren't teaching humanity directly yet. So until this time, this is really the best way to really get to know them. And if you go to the Share International site, you can read these articles yourself that way. Like I said, that's the cheapest way to do it. Then you can kind of absorb what he has to say, experience the wisdom of his words and that kind of stuff better than you can from just hearing me read it to you. Now, if you want to read it in book form, I have included a link in the description of these videos too that will take you to the Amazon page where you can buy books by Benjamin Creme. This book is entitled A Master Speaks. There's a volume 1 and a volume 2, and it's a compilation of all the articles that this master wrote that were published in Share International when Benjamin Creme was alive and working with the Share International magazine and that kind of thing. So I don't make any money off the sale of these books, just like I don't make any money off the videos or anything like that. The only two institutions that make money off the sale of the books, first one is Jeff Bezos and his crew over at Amazon. I want to give him a shout out. One of the richest men in the world, but he also takes time out of his busy day to tell everybody how lazy they are who work for him, who made him rich. Gotta love that. But, if you buy one of these books, you can help he and his girlfriend out, because I'm sure they need the money. But if you also buy one of these books, it helps out the Share International group as well. So anyway, I just want to say that. Now, the second thing is, when I read these articles, I don't like to comment on it. And so I don't like to analyze it or point this section out over that. That's for you to do for yourself. So at the end of the video, it's just going to be at the end of the video. So once I'm done reading it, I don't comment about it or, hey, let's talk more about this, that kind of thing. And then lastly, this article is entitled The End of Cleavage. Now, if you're somebody like me who pays attention to world events, you might be very concerned about what you're seeing in the world. Obviously, right? There's a lot of divisions out there. Nation is against nation. Even nations like the United States that are supposed to be one country, right? We all pay taxes to the same government. It's looking more and more like two different countries out there, right? And politically, they can't see the other side's point of view. Economically, the same way. Even now, scientists that devote their life to science can't see what the religious folks are talking about, just as the religious folks have such a mystical view of life and take everything so literally in what they're reading, even in the Bible, that they can't see what the scientists are talking about, right? So you might be thinking, like me, that this is what it's going to be like from now on. Well, he wouldn't have named this article The End of Cleavage if cleavages were going to happen forever, right? So this is all a part of the process. It's all a part of the process of humanity starting to see itself as what we really are, as one family. Now, according to Maitreya, the only way this is ever going to even be remotely possible is for nations to share the resources that they have with other nations. And the only way that's going to start is humanity's going to have to see clearly what Maitreya already knows. that our survival depends on whether we do this or not. He says, without sharing, there will be no justice. Without justice, there will be no peace. And without peace, there will be no future. When we finally understand that truth that Maitreya is talking about, we will gladly accept the principle of sharing. So it might seem far-fetched today, but when we are face-to-face with our own demise, whether we do this or not, we'll sing a different tune, as they say. So this article talks about it. I think it's a wonderful article. If you don't believe what he's saying, at the very least, hopefully it will give you a little bit of hope about the fact of the state of affairs, and maybe we'll get through this. So anyway, what did he have to say about the end of cleavage? For years, many have awaited a sign that the Christ return is imminent. On all sides and in many lands, these signs have indeed appeared in abundance, but still the doubters doubt. Nothing, it would seem, but the sight of the Christ himself will shake the skepticism of the doubting Thomases of the world. Soon, they will have no further cause to doubt, no easy rationale to explain away the myriad mysteries in their midst. Soon, the Son of Man will present himself and his concerns to millions. News of his appearance will echo round the world and lead quickly to his general recognition and acceptance. Wherever men now look, they see the necessity for change. The old order is perishing, unstable, and insecure. The old is falling apart. Cleavage abounds, and competition is the order of the day. The doors stand open wide for the appearance of the teacher. Very soon now, the world will awaken to the fact that a teacher of immeasurable stature has entered the affairs of men, has graced the world with his presence, and awaits only the assent of humanity to begin his mission of enlightenment and succor. From then on, the process of change, gathering momentum, will transform the world. All that we see today of cleavage and violence will gradually disappear. More and more, the ways of peace will exert their attraction on men, and a new stability will be established in their affairs. Peace depends on right relationship, which in its turn depends on justice. Justice will prevail when the basic needs of all are met. The principle of sharing is the key to this divine harmony and the only forward path for the sons of men. Thus will speak Maitreya in his approach to mankind. Thus will humanity grasp the importance and necessity of sharing. Thus will they begin to see the mistakes of the past and, under his wise direction, remedy them. The time is fast approaching when Maitreya can present his ideas to the world. His open mission will begin forthwith, and a new and better rhythm will impose itself on the world. Thus will it be. Thus will the fisher of men become the teacher of men. Thus will the great ones, under his lead, restore to men the ancient covenants, and thus will a new impetus and direction be given to man's journey to perfection. Make ready to recognize and welcome the teacher. Fear not for the future. All will be well indeed. Remember to take action and help SOP save our planet. Thanks for listening, and we look forward to talking to you again in future videos.